Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Meet me again on the Kuaruh TV channel. This time I will review a really interesting topic, Indonesia's groundbreaking Green Sukuk. What if you could invest in a greener future and adhere to ancient financial principles at the same time? Well, that's exactly what Indonesia is doing, and it's a story that could totally reshape how we think about funding sustainable development.
So, to really get a grip on the scale of what Indonesia is trying to achieve, you got to start with this massive number over $625 billion. That's the kind of investment they estimate is needed for the country's infrastructure just over the next few years. It's a huge ambition, and, well, it comes with a huge challenge. And here's the problem in a nutshell. You've got this massive need, right? But the government's budget can only cover about 40% of the cost. This creates a monumental funding gap. So the big question is, where does the rest of the money come from? How do you build a nation's future when you're starting this far behind? Well, this is where Indonesia got really creative. Instead of just relying on traditional methods, it turned to a unique financial tool that aligns perfectly with its development goals and its cultural principles: the Green Sukuk.
So what in the world is a green sukuk? Okay, at its simplest, you can think of it like a bond, but with a really crucial ethical twist. The money that's raised can only be used for certified green projects. We're talking things like sustainable transport, renewable energy, and building up climate resilience.
Now, you might be thinking, hey, that just sounds like a green bond. But a sukuk is fundamentally different. See, a conventional bond is a loan. You lend money and get paid back with interest. A sukuk, however, is not a loan. Investors actually buying a partial ownership stake in the project itself. It's like owning a tiny piece of a wind farm. And this structure is absolutely key because it complies with Sharia principles, which forbid earning interest.
And get this unique approach of blending finance with ownership has been incredibly successful. To date, Indonesia has raised $6.6 billion through Global Green Sukuk. This isn't some niche experiment. It's a core part of their national financial strategy, and it's making them a global leader in this space. In fact, Indonesia literally made history with this. They were the very first country in the world to issue a sovereign green sukuk, creating a powerful new model that blends faith-based financial principles with modern sustainable development goals. So $6.6 billion is a lot of money, but where is it actually going? Come on, let's follow the funds and see how they're being used to build a greener Indonesia. The funds get channeled into three critical green sectors. The lion's share, over half, goes to sustainable transport, which makes a lot of sense given Indonesia's focus on improving public transit and railways. The rest is split between projects for climate resilience and improving water and waste management. But, these are just categories on a chart. What does climate resilience or sustainable transport actually look like on the ground? Where can we see these investments making a real, tangible difference in people's lives? To answer that, let's take a little trip to the Gyeongsang coast in South Sulawesi. This is where we can see the direct line from a complex global financial instrument all the way down to the fishing nets of a local community. For years, the people of this coastal community lived under a constant threat. Coastal abrasion was just relentless, eroding nearly 100 meters of land over time, endangering homes, businesses, and the very livelihoods that depended on the sea.
But then, using funds specifically from the 2020 Green Sukuk issuance, the government was able to act. They constructed a robust 400-meter coastal defense system. And the results were immediate and absolutely transformational.
And this created this powerful ripple effect. The project didn't just stop the erosion, it completely revitalized the entire local economy. With the coast secured, fishermen could dock their boats safely, securing the local fishing industry. And that new, protected coastline, it sparked a boom in tourism. This quote from a local community representative really says it all. This wasn't just an infrastructure project. It was an investment in the community's future. It shows how a financial instrument created in Jakarta can translate directly into safer homes, protected livelihoods, and new opportunities in a village hundreds of miles away. And this success story isn't just a one-off. The Gyeongsang project is just one example of a much broader strategy. Indonesia's pioneering work in this space has gained some serious international recognition. And yeah, this success has definitely not gone unnoticed. The Green Sukuk has won major international finance awards, cementing its status not just as a domestic success, but as a potential model for other developing nations to follow.
The success has also paved the way for even more innovation. Building on the Green Sukuk framework, Indonesia has since launched other thematic bonds, like SDG bonds focused on the Sustainable Development Goals, and even blue bonds dedicated to marine conservation projects. So, what's the key takeaway from all of this? Well, Indonesia has provided a powerful blueprint. It proves that countries don't have to choose between economic growth and environmental protection. With innovative financial tools like the Green Sukuk, it's possible to achieve both at the same time. Ultimately, this story is about more than just finance or infrastructure. It's about imagination. It forces us to ask a bigger question. If we can design financial systems to protect a coastline, what other global challenges can we solve by rethinking how we invest in our future? That concludes this short discussion on Indonesia's Green Sukuk. Don't forget to share and like. Thank you. See you in the next short course. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.